Michael John Mansfield. I lived here all my life and I was born in 1930. I suppose, yeah, there's been a lot of changes really. I mean, at the pavilion, for instance, we used to dance in there. We had dances. And of course, during the war years, it was different. The Princess Hall, the floor, we used to be, the floor was upstairs. You went upstairs to the dance hall. And Saturday nights, if you weren't there at 10 o'clock, you couldn't get in. Whereas now you've got to throw them in early. And in actual fact, I used to be chairman of the football club in those days, and we used to run dances Saturday nights in Burnham and Highbridge every alternate Saturday, and we always had a full house by 10 o'clock. Burnham itself, not a lot of changes. The high street's still similar, and people like coming to Burnham because it's just quite a good shopping area. Really, it's quite good. I think the Marine Lake, when they built it, and they didn't last long because they built it on the sand, and it wasn't many years before it all fell apart, sadly. And we had a paddling pool, which is no longer here, and the paddling pool was quite good. It always had a lot of muck in it, but they used to clean it regular then. And people, like, when the tide was out, the young people could go and have a paddle and all that. And we used to have sandcastle competitions on the north end. And I had, when I was young, I was eating an ice cream and a wasp went on it, and I sucked it and it stung the back of my tongue. So I then ended up in Burnham War Memorial Hospital, which hadn't been open long, with ice and stopping my tongue from choking me. So that was back in 1938, I think. And Freddie Faye Frolics used to, not only, they had a stage on the sloping of the wall, they used to have it, and they do this, open air it was. Changes during the war, obviously we had a lot of American soldiers, and after the war there was plans to Pillsmouth, which is now built on. Plans were in Palmer's window showing they were going to have an airfield with light airplanes. So of course it never took off. Well, I think I was born in the council houses in Worston Lane, and during the war years we had searchlights down the bottom of the lane, and we had the army huts where the soldiers stayed was just at the end of our council houses, which is Churchill Close now. And on the weekends, the soldiers, because they didn't have any showers and that, they used to come in to different houses to have baths and that. And then, of course, we had these searchlights, which was during the war, always, once the sirens had gone, they were in action then, the 3 searchlights. Right near the radio station as well. They used to have a nice big brewery in Burnham. I expect somebody's told you about the Burnham Brewery. Well, it was on, you know where the Lighthouse pub is now? That was built on the brewery fields, but just a bit further towards Highbridge. They own all the field. They had a big malt house, employed about 50. And they even took beer by boat to Cardiff. They had a pub in Cardiff. And a lot of the names, like Sutherland Avenue and that, was named after the owners of the brewery. And the community centre on the Barrow Road, that was a house for one of the brothers of the Holtz brothers. That was his house. He had it built many years ago, and that was what it was. That was his house. And yes, I can remember the old Majestic Cinema. My father, when it was silent films, at the Majestic, which is along by, is there now a cafe in there? Is South Street, if you go along a bit. That was the Majestic Cinema, and my father, in his day, he used to bang the effects because it was silent. When there was thunder, he'd bang the sheet in and do other things. Yeah, he's in the films there. It's old Mother Riley. We lots of things happen. And during the war, they used it wasn't a cinema then because the Ritz was built in about 1936. And during the war, the old Majestic Cinema was used as a flower store. They had stored flour in there. Yeah, because other than that, I seen Casablanca there. Humphrey Bogart. That's one of my favourite films. In fact, just a matter of interest, my friend and I, who died now, we were only, 12 years old, so we used to go from Worston Lane and when we were coming out from the cinema, not late, terrifically late. They dropped the landmine somewhere, and the Scott's window, which was Cox and Cox's, all shattered, the whole window, as we were going along. Yeah.